Can you elucidate the different Talibans, that is Afghan and Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, and their objectives and plans towards Pakistan and India? Have they joined hands now, or were they always aligned? So there are two Talibans, like you say. There is the Taliban itself, the main Taliban, who are now in power in Afghanistan. And then you have the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which is a separate organization. So, what is the genesis of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan? What is the genesis of the Pakistani Taliban? So, after the 9/11 bombings, after the Americans invaded and occupied Afghanistan, many of the Taliban fighters, etc., many of the Mujahideens, they crossed over into Pakistan, into the FATA region, federally administered tribal areas, which is the Pashtun areas of Pakistan. And many of these people who crossed over were actually foreign fighters, Arabs and whatnot. So the Americans started bombing these regions of Pakistan using drone strikes and all that. And the Pakistan army also, with the approval of the tribal elders, they came into this region with the ostensible aim of flushing out the foreign fighters. But what the Pakistani army did was they acted like an occupying army. They started burning villages and killing people. So this region rebelled against the Americans and the Pakistanis, and the Mujahideens who were already there. They combined forces and came up with this new Taliban, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. That is in very short what happened. This was in the early 2000s, 2003 to 2005 thereabouts. And that is the birth of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. So that is a separate organization from the Afghan Taliban, the main Taliban. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan is an umbrella organization of a large number of small to medium-sized terrorist outfits and resistance outfits. Their objective is to resist the United States and the Pakistan army both. So the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, their activities are largely confined to Pakistan itself. These are terrorist activities. They have been fighting the Pakistani state, the Punjabistan state, the Pakistani army, and the ISI. And to some extent, they are also cooperating at times with the ISI. It's a complicated situation. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan also has very close ties with the so-called Al-Qaeda, even with the Islamic State, ISIS. In a way, it's very hard to differentiate between the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and the Al-Qaeda and the ISIS. These are tags that foreigners have put upon them. They have the same objectives, they have the same ideology. It's very hard to actually see any difference between these different organizations. So that is the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. At times, they have aligned with the Afghan Taliban. They even had an agreement at some point in time. But for most of their existence, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has been in conflict with themselves and also with the Afghan Taliban. So it has not been a harmonious relationship. It has been a relationship that has been filled with conflict and infighting. So they were not always aligned, but recently, in the past couple of days, one hears the news that the Pakistani Taliban, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, has declared its allegiance to the leadership, to the Taliban leadership in Kabul, which is a very interesting turn of events, my friends.